When I first started taking pictures a little more seriously, as opposed to just snapshots with a pocket camera, I learned that one of the hard and fast rules is you should make sure your subject is well lit. Position your main source of light behind you so that your subject is evenly lit and you'll get good results. Or use a flash if you absolutely have to, but somehow get that light on your subject. Since then, over the past maybe 10 years or so, I've learned that there's a lot of ways to bend those rules. And one of my favorite ways is what you're seeing here. Intentionally backlight your subject. This is just a tiny little section of some sort of brambly bush out by Lake Carl Blackwell, west of town here in Oklahoma. And I was out on a walk with my wife and our two boys, and we came across this. And the first thing that came to mind was the level from Donkey Kong Country 2, Bramble Scramble. And it was one of the most difficult levels in a very difficult game. And I just recently went back and replayed the entire game with my kids. And yes, it is just as difficult as it ever was. But that level has one of the most amazing soundtracks to any level I've ever heard in a video game. It's called Sticker Brush Symphony. Look it up. It's phenomenal. Anyway, I saw this bramble and I thought, if we could take a picture where it's kind of glowing because of the sun, that would be really neat. So I enlisted the help of my oldest son and I had him hold this branch. Well, I got down and took several pictures from slightly different angles, all the while making sure this thing was backlit. And I've never done this before with my macro lens. I've tried this occasionally with my close-up filters, but I've never gotten anything like this until now, what you're seeing here with my macro lens. I shot this with my D500, which normally I use my full frame camera when I shoot close up, but that D500 also works great. It's a phenomenal camera. It's just better for like sports and action, but that doesn't mean it can't take normal everyday pictures too. I shot this at f6.7 to get a good balance between depth of field and detail. I really wanted to draw the viewer's eye right to that main, the center, that main bramble, or that main, what do you call it? Needle sticking up, and all the tiny little details on it, the splotches of white and the little hairs sticking up. It's that center of the image. I just really wanted to be sharp and in focus, and the rest of it not. And f6.7 allowed that to happen. 102/50th of a second, which is probably a little fast. I don't really think I needed that, but ISO on this was 160, so there's really no penalty to shooting at a faster shutter speed. And in the end, I got a photo that I'm pretty happy with. I like the colors. I like that it's just this, what do you call it? Like this beam of red across this really dull frame. And that's not artificial. This is exactly how it looked in real life. I didn't change the background or anything. And that's one of the cool things about macro photography is you could take a normal everyday scene and see it in a totally new way if you just find a way to look a little closer than you might normally.